Hello and welcome to Microsoft Hates Greg. My name is Greg Deckler, and today we got some stuff to talk about. So first thing that's up is my son's high school graduation party is happening today. And I'm just here in about 3 hours or so. So this is Saturday the 21st. He graduated on June 7th, right? And pretty expected to graduate from high school these days, right? But it's sort of kind of an end of an era to a certain degree. But the most important thing is that it's officially the last time that I have to see my second ex-wife. So, not gonna lie, I'm in a pretty good mood. Now we're gonna get to this email Danny Martins sent to me here in a minute, but you may be wondering about the status of DAX for Humans, right? And it's close, right? You're like, well, Greg, what's the holdup, man? It's you're done with the chapters, right? You're compiling it all into a single document. What's the holdup here? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of details, okay? And I got to be careful. I don't want to give away any secrets. There's secrets, right? But so there's so many details you gotta pay attention to. So like, for example, like you gotta, is a header, even page is different than like the headers for the odd pages, right? You want to make sure that like the chapters land on an odd page. The margins, like there's this thing called mirrored margins in Word I never knew existed, but so you have to leave space for the book binding, right? It's gonna be bound in a book. So, for the even pages, which are gonna be on this side, it has to, you have to have the margins, to account for that. But on the odd pages, it's got to be the opposite, right? So, you got to go through and figure all this stuff out. And then, I still had issues where like, because I'll copy a figure from the one above it and paste it on the one below, right? And then they have the same figure number, or they have this, or the figure number will be different, but I forgot to update, the description. So, so going through and for tables and figures and all of that sort of thing. And then you got to pay attention to like, you don't want like this, if this image like was up, like fit on this page, but the caption for it was on the next page. You don't want that, right? So you got to pay attention. You got to go through, and there's just all these little details that you got to go through. So, and then I'm still waiting on some stuff. That's part of the secret stuff, but yeah. So it's a lot of work. I'm still hoping to get it out this month in June. It may push to July, just depending on a myriad of factors. And I have no idea once I upload it to Amazon if they're going to come back and be like, oh no, this image is blurry and you got to fix it and blah blah blah. So be patient. It's coming, man. Right? All right, let's go back to this email that Danny Martin sent to me. I'm not showing his name because it's got his email address, and I don't know if he wants, a bunch of people emailing him out of the blue. So it says, I received this message from Microsoft today. It doesn't affect me, but will it be in the next update? I bet it's going to be preview. This guy gets my humor, right? So they're limiting the number of users or groups that can be added to workspace roles in Fabric and Power BI. Now, I don't know who all got this email. I don't know. I didn't get an email on this, and I don't know how Microsoft determined who should get an email on this, but anyway, that he got this email. So Microsoft's going to implement your coming up here in August that you can't have more than 1,000 users or groups in workspace roles, right? Admin, member, contributor, viewer, and it doesn't. And I can't fault Microsoft for this. This seems reasonable to me. It seems like Microsoft is accounting for people misbehaving, I guess you could say, right? I mean, do you really want to add 1,000 individual users into your workspace? No, you don't. You don't want to do that. Okay, so anyway, so this seems like a reasonable thing to do. They're not going to break, existing workspaces. You just won't be able to add additional users or groups to the workspace until it gets under the 1,000 user limit, right? You need to put these things in groups, people, right? I mean, I've seen it in a number of cases where some organizations, for every workspace that gets created, it gets a workspace name admin, workspace name member, workspace contributor, workspace viewer groups, right? And those get created in, what is it now? Entra ID, stupid name. Anyway, but it gets put into Entra ID as groups, right? And then you can manage it. And that's how you really want to do that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, 1,000 users, you don't want to go over the limit. And then they give you like some instructions where they, and I'm assuming that in the original email, right, retrieve all workspaces in your org by using this API, admin, list all workspaces, yada, 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 right? And I'm assuming those were actually links to stuff at one point. But I'm going to go ahead and actually show you how to do this. If I can bring up my PowerShell here. Okay, so yeah, so what I did was, anyway, I found a script. I'll post the link. Again, I got secrets in here that I don't want to show, so I don't want to click on the wrong tab. But I'll post in chat. One, I'll post the link to where I found the script, and two, I'll post the actual script, the PowerShell script in that. But what you want to do here is you want to do this first. You install the module, right? Install the module, Microsoft Power BI management, and you want to run, this is PowerShell, right? You just type in PowerShell, run it as admin, right? Install module, Microsoft Power BI. I'll paste the full script, but Microsoft Power BI management, right? Scope, current user, force, right? Easy. So do that. And then the next thing is you actually import the module, right? Import module, Microsoft Power BI management, MGMT. And then I connect to Power BI. So connect.-Power BI service account. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm already logged in, but I'll do it again anyway. Here we go. Yep, that guy. All right, so now I'm logged in. So then now I can just run the script. So get workspaces.py. I just pasted it into a. Now you may have to set this if you don't have the ability to run scripting. There's another command to like turn on the ability to run scripts, but whatever. All right, so you run it, right? And then it's workspace details. So type workspace details.csv. So you can see here, right? I've got like for Learn Power BI, an admin is MVP Data at MVP Data Solutions, and then also my son. I created an account for my son as far as he's a viewer of that, right? So so you get a CSV file. So now once you have the CSV file, this is a simple matter to import it into Power BI, and then you can hey, probably I would create like a table visual or something like that with a count of how many IDs that you have, right? Identifiers that you have for that workspace. So put the workspace into a table, put the count of identifier in a table, and then you'll be able to see which workspaces are over 1,000, right? There you go. So again, I post all these details into the detail. I post all of this information into the details for this video. Get it together. Oh man. So yeah. Oh man. So the X is going to be here in like an hour. So I need to start like liquid medicating, folks. So that's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.